Hello, Justin DeHaan here for another segment of Hockey Hardware. Today we have a ring commemorating an NHL record, 5 straight Stanley Cups, won by the Montreal Canadiens from 1956 to 1960. Now this particular ring was awarded to goaltender Jacques Plante in 1983 alongside his teammates and head coach Toe Blake at the Montreal Forum before a Canadiens game. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you've won 5 straight Stanley Cups, don't you have 5 Stanley Cup rings? What are you going to do with another ring? Well, it didn't become commonplace for Stanley Cup rings to be awarded every season until 1972. Prior to that, there were some seasons where cup rings were awarded, but there were also other things awarded instead. Those included pocket watches, silverware, medallions, and in the case of the 1971 Montreal Canadiens, a championship TV set. Now, 5 Stanley Cups in a row, that's a mark that will likely never be beaten. In fact, since 1993, there have only been 2 back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. That's the Detroit Red Wings from 1997 and 1998, and in 2016 and 2017, Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins also captured back-to-back Stanley Cups. Now, to put this in perspective for the Montreal Canadiens and Jacques Plante, when the streak started in 1956, a 26-year-old Plante wore no mask, was barefaced in the net for the Canadiens. When the streak ended in 1960, Plante would be wearing a mask that he had popularized in the NHL. Now, a lot of people say he was the first goalie to wear a mask in the NHL. That is not the case. The first goaltender to wear a mask in the NHL was the Montreal Maroons' Clint Benedict in 1930 when he wore a leather mask to protect a fractured cheekbone. The difference is that when Benedict's injury healed, he went back to wearing no mask, while Plante wore a mask for the rest of his career in every game. Now, the only thing more impressive than 5 straight Stanley Cups would be 6 straight Stanley Cups. So just how close did the Canadiens get to 6 Stanley Cups in a row? Well, in 1955, before the streak began, they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals to the Detroit Red Wings in Game 7. But they were without their offensive catalyst and leader, Maurice the Rocket Richard, who had been suspended due to a stick-swinging incident with Boston's Hal Laycoe. Now, the resulting suspension ending his regular season, and he was suspended for the entirety of the playoffs. A lot of Montreal fans believed that this was too harsh. They believed it was anti-Francophone, and it sparked the Richard riot in Montreal. So if Richard was in the lineup, likely the Canadiens do win, and that could have extended their streak to 6 years in a row with winning the Stanley Cup. But that being said, 5 is certainly still the record, and with the way the current NHL is, where between lockouts, strikes, and even pandemics, it's hard enough to play 5 Stanley Cup finals in a row, we can expect that record to stand the test of time. That's it for this segment of Hockey Hardware. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be posting another video on Monday.